There's a quiet but pretty massive shift happening in the way homes are bought and sold. And some of the biggest names in the business, we're talking Howard Hanna and Compass, are right at the heart of it. It's like a hidden war is being fought over who gets to see which homes for sale and when. And that brings up a really critical question, especially if you're looking to buy a home anytime soon. Is it actually possible that your perfect house is on the market right now, but you just can't see it? Let's break down what's really going on here.
Okay, so the key term you need to get your head around is private listings. What are they? Well, these are homes for sale that are deliberately kept off the public market, so you won't find them on the MLS, Zillow, or Realtor.com. Instead, they're shared only within a specific brokerage's private network of agents. Yeah, think of it like an exclusive, members-only club for real estate.
Now, this isn't just some tiny trend on the fringe. We are talking about industry giants building out huge infrastructures just to support these private networks. And when companies this big all start moving in the same direction, you can bet the rest of the market is going to pay attention. So, why is this happening? I mean, what's the real motivation for keeping a perfectly good home a secret from the general public? Well, it really boils down to two things: money and psychology. Let's start with the money, because that's usually a good place to start. The business logic is actually pretty simple. If a brokerage can sell one of its own listings to a buyer who's also represented by one of its own agents, well, they get to keep the entire commission. This little maneuver is known as a double-ended transaction. So instead of splitting that commission check with some outside agent from another company, the brokerage pockets both the seller's side and the buyer's side. It's a huge, huge financial incentive to keep everything in-house. But it's not just about the brokerage getting paid. Sellers are also being told there's a big advantage for them in going private. The CEO of Howard Hanna, Hanna, he makes the argument that public websites like Zillow actually give buyers a bunch of data that can seriously hurt a seller's negotiating possession. And this fear factor is really powerful. Think about it. The moment a home hits the public market, it's like a giant countdown clock starts ticking. Buyers can see the days on market number climbing. They see every single price cut. And all that data can make a seller look weak, maybe even desperate. It shifts a buyer's whole mindset from, do I love this home? To, how can I win this negotiation? So, okay, there are some clear benefits for brokerages and for sellers. But what does this whole trend mean for you, the person trying to buy a home? Well, this is where the story takes a bit of a dark turn, because what's good for one side might actually break the system for the rest of us. This right here highlights the real danger. Today's residential market, for the most part, is pretty transparent. You can go to one website and feel pretty confident you're seeing almost everything available. But this private listing trend could push us toward the way commercial real estate works, a totally fragmented world where finding a property means you're calling a dozen different people, and you never really know if you've seen all your options. And let's be really clear about this, as the source material puts it so bluntly. That kind of murky, secretive market, that's not some kind of exclusive feature. It's a failure of the system for the consumer. It creates a world of haves and have-nots based on who has the information. So here's the bottom line. We are drifting towards a future where you can't really trust what you see online. You might think you've done a totally complete search, but in reality, you could be missing out on your dream home simply because you aren't connected to the right brokerage. But it doesn't have to be this way. The good news is there is a potential path forward, a compromise really, that could protect the industry's business goals and also the consumer's right to a fair, transparent market. So the proposed solution has three basic steps. It would require cooperation between the big portals, the MLS systems, and all the brokerages. Let's walk through them. All right, step one takes a direct shot at that seller fear factor we talked about. What if portals like Zillow and Realtor.com simply remove the days on market counter and the price cut history from the public page? If you do that, one of the main reasons for hiding a listing in the first place just kinda vanishes. It lets the focus go back to the house itself, not the negotiating tactics. Step two is all about protecting the data. The idea is to require every single listing to be entered into the central MLS, even if you tag it as private. Now, this is huge. Why? Because it keeps all the market data, which is absolutely vital for accurate appraisals, complete and reliable. That protects everybody. And finally, step three. This is the big compromise. You allow these private listings to actually show up on the big portals, so buyers at least know they exist, but And this is the key part. You route all the inquiries and leads directly to the listing brokerage. That way, the buyer isn't left in the dark, and the brokerage still gets its shot at that lucrative double-ended deal. It's a potential win-win.
So you can see the industry is really at a crossroads here. The path it decides to take right now is going to determine whether the future of buying a home is one of open cooperation or one of just increasing fragmentation and confusion.
The warning from the source material is pretty stark. If the industry doesn't act together on this, this could be one of those moments we all look back on with a lot of regret. A huge missed opportunity to build a system that was fair for everyone involved. So the private listings war is here. The real question is whether the major players can find a way to cooperate for the good of the entire market, or if self-interest is going to lead us all to a future where finding your dream home becomes a whole lot harder than it ever needed to be.